Hi, Anthony here from Learning to Play the Guitar. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play the guitar part and the bass part for the King Crimson tune Walking on Air from their 1995 album Thrack. This song features Adrian Belew on vocals, and I'm going to mainly look at his guitar part here, and of course I will look at the bass part played by Tony Levin as well. Just a reminder, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe, and you can check out more lessons and my books at my website, learningtoplaytheguitar.net. The introduction and the verses for this song are based around two chords, F sharp minor and an E major chord, which incidentally are the same chord changes for Don't Let Me Down by the Beatles, so it has a similar sort of vibe in the way he's playing it at the very start before it goes somewhere else. So he's doing a lot of little variations and Hendrix-isms, I suppose, R&B sort of moves throughout all these chord changes as we go along through this verse and intro section. So here we go through the introduction of the song. So first off, we have the F sharp minor chord just strummed, and then we have the 11 and the 10, and then we have a pair of notes here. So I'm going to hybrid pick, so I'm using my pick and my ring finger to pick the other number 9 there. This chord sort of is an E chord with an F sharp in the bass, which is just like a one finger chord. So again, blending those two chords together. This is sort of free timey, but it does have a little rhythm behind it. And then we have this little hammer on pull off figure. 9, 10, 9, 11 on the beat of the G strings, and then continuing down onto the other strings, 9, 11 stuff. And then we've got this E G sharp thing, which is basically how he's really playing most of these E chords, with the G sharp in the bass, which is that 9, 11 figure, which is Wind Cries Mary from Hendrix, but it's lots of other stuff as well. So we've got the 9/11 here, which is a G sharp and a B note from that E/G sharp in the bass chord. A pair of 9s hanging on to it, and then we have the 11, but it's now moved to the D string. And he does a little, hits the E string at the same time, so I mute that with my other finger here on the A string, muting the A string to get this sound, and then back to the 9/11. So I'll do all that together. That is the intro. So the intricate stuff, but it's really just based around two chords. Into the verse, the very first bar of the verse, there's actually no guitar there. It's the bass holds down the first bar as he goes along, and so then you can hear the guitar come in on the F sharp minor chord just as an arpeggio in the second bar of the verse. Just doing that, and then we have a little 12/11 addition there. Now back to the E G sharp thing again, the good old 9/11 reappears. Sort of stuff, little triplet there, but again 9/11 Hendrixy sort of little wing type stuff all throughout. Now we have a single 11 over the bar going into the F sharp minor chord. Deliberately leave my first finger off for the moment. I'm doing that little open E string there, little skippy 9 and 11, 9 on the B string, 11 on that other string there. Then over the bar line we've got a pair, and now I'm going to go back to some 9s. So it was all that F sharp minor stuff. So I'm going to do it again, that little section there. So bar 9 continuing through on my sheet here. That sort of sound. 9/11. So lots of 9/11 E stuff there. So now we're back to the F sharp. Then just a number 1 finger holding down the 9s over the F sharp and the bass. The bass will be playing the bass note, of course. 9, 9, 9. So that's that E chord over the F sharp bass sound with the bass involved. 9/11, 0, little hammer here. So that's the end of that. There's a bar here which features some backwards sounding guitar, which I'm just added in here for a bit of fun. That sort of sound, just 9/11, little noodling around the E major sort of sound of that chord. And so that takes you to the end of the verse. So now I'll play that whole thing all over again, nice and slowly. So from the beginning of the verse, which is really the second bar, because the first bar is just bass. So here you go, bar 2. Yeah, next bit. Back to F sharp again. Final bit. And the backwards bit added in. That sort of thing. So the next section, moving into, I don't know, pre-chorus or whatever you want to call it. So like an F sharp, but just 2 fingers with an open string. Mine's a bit of a U2 sort of thing. Now we have a minor 6. You can play it a few ways, that way, or the pair of fingers. And then we're moving up to a minor 7, just 1 finger. 5/5s. So that little bit was. Yeah. And into the chorus, I suppose you could call it a chorus. In the chorus is the 4-chord arpeggio pattern which repeats twice, starting with an E chord and down, down, up, picking to be consistent with your picking here. Down, down, up on E. And then we're going to go to an E major 7, which is a 2-1-1. Same strings. Then a stretchy C sharp minor 7, 4-2-1 tab there, same strings. Then to a C augmented, C plus as it's written, 3-2-1 and tab. Quite rare to hear that in a song, and we do it twice. So, then the C sharp minor again. C sharp augmented and stops on the number 3. Then after that we now go to an F sharp minor 7. But I play it this way. I watched the live version. He dances his fingers around a bit here, but I'm just going to hang on to the whole shape. So it's basically the F sharp minor bar chord with fingers 2 and 3. My little finger on fret 5 down here on the B string. And then the B add 4, which means the B bar chord, but I'm going to 2, 4, 4, have another 4 there and a 0 to get that sort of sound. So I'm going to pick it following the tab here. 2, 4, 4, open E, making sure everything rings out nice and clear. Back to the F sharp minor again, same as before. There's a little 2-1. I do like a little pull off there, and back to the other shape. And with that, picking, and the final piece goes back to that A minor 6 chord, with the A ringing out as the bass note. A minor 7, James Bond, but backwards. A minor, a la Stairway to Heaven, 7/5/5, and a 6, the A minor major 7, that note there, very Stairway, and then we've got this little Hendrixy thing stuck on the end. So here we go, E, G sharp figure again, back to the 9/11 stuff to go back to the next verse. That sort of figure there, 9/11 stuff. And after that, it just repeats the same sort of thing round and around, and the solo interludes are based around the F sharp minor and those E and G sharp chords, with some noodly Robert Fripp sort of stuff on top. So here the bass part is quite prominent, starting off with notes based around the E and the F sharp minor chords. Sounds like a fretless bass, but here I don't have one, so we'll have to just play it on my fretted jazz bass. So here we go, starting off with these notes at the very beginning, which are a 13, which is the third of the E chord, sliding to the fifth, down to the E. Fairly simple there, and the intro under the guitar part. Into the verse. The first thing we really do here under the vocal is the F sharp based riff or arpeggio bass pattern here, which slides all the way up to fret 7, which is the third of the F sharp minor chord there. Then we do that twice, and then we go to an E version of that, sliding to fret 6, and then there's a second variation where I'm going to slide in the middle of it, little finger there, 2 to 4, F sharp minor again, starts again, same thing. Now this next variation, there's a little 2-4-2 variation on the G string there, back to the E, sliding up to the 6, and then F sharp, all the way up to that again, and then we have a little variation here, which is that. I'll do that again. Little hammer, slide back, little pull off there, the 4-2. Then back to the E stuff, sliding to the 6 again. Last little thing here. Again, little finger prepped to slide to the 2-4-4 thing, which is all about sixes and the thirds, etc. So then going down into the next section, one more F sharp pattern, fret 7 again. Now we've got an open A under the A minor chords on the guitar. Then we have a B note, which is played under that first guitar arpeggio into that chorus section, on fret 2 of course. So in the middle section of the song, there's actually no bass part. The bass reappears when the guitar goes back to the F sharp minor chord here, with that little pattern again, and then we have a B, fret 2, F sharp minor again, but a little variation, a 2-4-2 thing there on the G string, back to the B, sliding to the E, back down to the open A, and after beat 4 we have a little 2-4-2 under the continuing A minor chords, and the final bit I've written out here is just back to the E pattern again, just finishing off that section, then the E on the end. And so it continues on and on around the F sharp minor and the E chord until the next verse reappears. Lots of little variations there. You can keep it simple or make it more complicated as you like.